Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be comparing the ELO sight and the reflex sight, or the more commonly called red dot sight. There are a lot of myths about these two. One is better than the other, one isn't. They're identical. One will give you more recoil, one will make you aim down sights faster, a lot of different interesting things. So today we're going to throw some facts at it, dispel some rumors, and take a look at the cosmetics. So the first thing I want to talk about is that both sights are identical in all of the key areas. They both have the exact same aim down sights time. Some of the optics in past Call of Duty games would make you ADS a little bit faster or slower. These two do neither. They are both identical in recoil. There are no recoil modifiers either to kick or center speed to either of these, and they have the exact same idle sway, so you don't get any sort of sway improvement with one sight or the other. So for all of the really important stats, they're identical. And some people are saying, oh, one has a lower zoom than the other, and that's technically true, but basically untrue. They have nearly identical zoom. However, the reflex sight has 0.1% more zoom, and I'll say that again because that's not a typo or me being goofy. It literally has 0.1% more zoom, like a tiny, infinitesimal, unnoticeable amount of extra zoom. So for all intents and purposes, they also have the exact same zoom. However, we can compare cosmetics and how they look on the guns. This is the ICR-1 with the reflex sight on the left and the ELO sight on the right, and at this distance they look nearly identical, so we can zoom in and now you can start seeing some of the differences. Obviously the dot color is different. On the reflex sight on the left there is a slight distortion in color for the lens, and another thing that's more commonly discussed, dot size or distortion. I think the dots are nearly identical in size, maybe ever so, like 1 pixel smaller on the reflex, but pretty much the same. However, in my personal opinion, the ELO sight is more open, easier to use, and it doesn't have the obstructive bar on the top. So if these sights are equal in pretty much all of the important areas and essentially equal in zoom, and the dots are essentially equal, but one of them is more open and clear, I'm going to go ahead and say that the ELO sight is slightly better than the reflex sight just because it has less distortion on it. It doesn't have a top bar, and it doesn't have a lens, and it gives you a more open sight and a better feel for the weapon. And though it's a personal preference for anyone, just for these reasons, I'm going to recommend the ELO sight if you have it unlocked. Guys, that's all for this short in-depth episode. This was more about dispelling myths than it was about proving anything fancy. The previous episode was on the M8A7, and the next episode we're going to be talking about suppressed sniper rifles. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.